because a lot of people don't understand what compounding is. It's not hard. I think probably because you come to a country on your own and there was no mobile phones, nothing, so you've got to get out and you've got to do it. It makes you a strong, resilient person. Well, when you first go in, you think you'll be overwhelmed, but I think if you do one thing at a time, go to the next thing, then I think then you get your confidence and you'll work on. But yeah, it's interesting. It's definitely growing though. I think people like getting their own little things made up for them and things like that, their vitamins and things, all especially for what they need after their blood tests, etc. I think that's good for people.
Hi, Annie.
How are you, Matt?
I'm great.
That's good. Yeah, I am too.
You are?
Yeah, really great.
It's awesome. Thank you for joining us for our second attempt at our NCC podcast called Capsule Conversations. I'm very keen to have you on board. It's been a bit of a busy few weeks.
It has.
Trying to get you in here, and then we had a cyclone and
we had holidays and
Yep, it never ends.
That's right.
How's your day been?
Yeah, good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. I would love to learn a bit more about your unique story and perspective so we can share it with team members and patients and all that sort of stuff down the track. So just tell me a bit about yourself.
When I started to get into compounding, well, I did pharmacy for 20 years, and then I was at a pharmacy where they did compounding, so they asked me if I'd like to go up and have a go. I said, yes, why not? Something different, something new. So I went up there, and actually there's a guy up there who's been compounding for years and years and years, and he was my teacher, and he was brilliant, and it all went from there, and I stayed in compounding. So, and then moved across here.
Yep, so that was 2013?
Correct.
Yep.
I've been here 12 years this year. That's right.
That's awesome.
I know. So worked in the lab here for a few years and then came out into the office. So I've had quite a bit of experience at all different things, which was great working in the lab because you just learn so much more about the products, how to make things, what they're for. So it's a good journey.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And if we can just chat lightly about what you did before pharmacy, you've got some really interesting jobs.
Oh, before pharmacy?
When
I was a young girl?
Yeah. I'd love everyone to learn what the working was like.
Yeah, I left home at 19 and I lived in Auckland in New Zealand for a couple of years, worked in offices and bits and pieces, and then decided to come to Australia. So I packed up with $200 in 2 suitcases and I flew to Melbourne and stayed in Melbourne for a few weeks and thought, I don't know if I want to stay here. I think I might go to Sydney. So I jumped on a plane and went to Sydney. Didn't really know anybody, just a friend of a friend, and it all started from there. Came for 3 months, never went home.
And what was Sydney like during those times?
I love Sydney, yeah. Worked in offices.
Yeah.
So worked in a couple of different offices, a big Hardboards Australia and a toy wholesaler company. So, yeah, it was good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And was the office back then a bit different to the office now?
Of course. You know, you have different systems and no computers and just mainly, ledger machines, where I used to work an old ledger machine and a PABX phone system.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And for those that aren't familiar with a PABX system, what was it?
Well, it was just like lots of cords and lots of little buttons. So you pushed a cord into the phone that was ringing and then pushed the other cord into the extension in the office where the bosses were or whatever, and then had to keep ringing it until they picked it up.
Awesome.
So you had to make sure you put the right...
I could imagine.
Yeah, because if you didn't,
you transfer the call to the wrong person.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah.
Any fun stories to take you back to when you're in the office? Were there any Friday night knockoffs?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday night in the boardroom with the boss used to put all the drinks and all the nibblies on, and so we'd be there for a couple of hours and then continue on back into the city and keep going.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. And then so you've on the Gold Coast and a pharmacy job's come up 20 years ago, and then...
Well, I started in cosmetics first.
Cool. In a pharmacy?
No, I worked in Myer, a Pacific Fair. I worked in the old Myer, then went to the new Myer. Then I went to pharmacy after that.
Awesome. So you sort of had customer service under your belt and knew all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, that's right. So always dealing with customers and that, so...
That's cool. And then you've gone from a pharmacy job to a compounding pharmacy job.
Yeah, that's
correct. What was that transition like?
It was great. I think because it was new, it was something different, and I'd never done compounding before, so I found it really interesting. I think compounding's great. I think it's It's just you just learn so many things. You bake so many things, and you learn what they're for, and it's just a good education of compounding, because a lot of people don't understand what compounding is.
Yeah, absolutely. We face that on a weekly basis, don't we?
Yeah.
After being here for 13 years, they're still surprised to see us.
What's compounding?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. Yeah. And when you went from just working in pharmacy to working in a compounding pharmacy, what was that transition like? It's obviously a new set of skills, but similarities, differences?
Well, quite different, because when you're working in a lab, you're not dealing with customers.
Got it.
So you're making lots of products for the customer. But so that's the difference, I think, and being different altogether, really, with you being in an ordinary pharmacy, it's your medicines over the counter, and this is just compounding medications for people. So it is quite different, but it's interesting.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And so you've started in the lab, and then were there certain products you could make or certain products you enjoyed?
Well, used to do a lot of troches. Did everything, really. Troches, creams. We used to make medicines up, all sorts of things. Capsules, lots of capsules. I started with capsules.
That's really cool. So you've then spent a bit of time in the lab.
I did.
And then 2013 come across here. And then you've made a transition into a more of an office customer-facing role.
That's right.
So how'd that go?
It was good. It's just I thought it's nice to have a different change. So I came in here, learned how to dispense all the medications and be receptionist, and so I've learnt quite a few things. And of course we did our massive extension, so that was really good. But so I really enjoy it. Now I do the mail, do a bit of everything really, which is good.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, so
well, you've certainly got a really, really strong reputation of being a doer. You like to get the job done, roll up the sleeves.
Yes, you got to do it. Yep, that's the old school in me. I'm sorry to say, but it's great. I'm proud of that, because it's the way it was back in my day. Yeah. Just get in and get it done. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, that's great. And a lot of stuff happens when you roll up your sleeve and get into it.
You just got to do it.
And then sort of diving into fun facts about yourself. What sort of motivates you outside of work? What do you enjoy doing?
Well, I've always been, I love exercise, of course, so I've always done boot camps. And then I did the 10K run in July at the marathon, and then I did a mud, what is it, mud?
Oh, Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder, I did one of those as well, so when I was in my 60s. So, yeah, I've always done a form of exercise, yeah.
Awesome.
And because I live on a property, so we're always doing things there as well.
Yeah.
But that's what keeps you fit and young.
Absolutely. Sounds like you spend a lot of time on the weekends in maintenance mode.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Always.
But the place would look $1 million after doing it.
Yeah, we just need to get rid of the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hope for all of Queensland. Yeah, that's awesome, Annie. So what do you think it is about our workplace that is a bit unique inside the pharmacy industry?
Comparing it to pharmacy industry?
Yeah, even comparing it to other compounders. What is it about us that you think is unique and sort of excites you to come to work?
I don't know. I just really enjoy working. I don't even look about retiring. I think I like to be active. I like the people in here. There's some really lovely people in here, and everyone seems to get on pretty well. So, I don't know, that's what makes me come to work every day. Maybe it's the boss, Matt, too.
No. It takes a lot more than the guy on the other side of this microphone to try and...
But, yeah, no, it's good. So, yeah, I enjoy it.
That's
Otherwise,
awesome.
I wouldn't be working at my age, would I?
Well...
If I wasn't happy, I wouldn't...
That's...
Exactly. So.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And what's when someone says to you, oh, what is compounding? What is it that you generally tell them? Well,
I tell them that it's compounded medications, especially for you. So with your prescription, we give you a quote, and then we compound it especially for you. So it's made their requirements for the prescription they've given us.
Yeah, cool.
And then they understand. I think they're quite taken back sometimes to think, wow.
I was going to say, is it often that someone might walk into the front counter and go, oh, so what do you do behind those doors over there?
Yeah, they do.
Do you often get that?
Yeah. Oh, what do you got there? We've got a lab. Oh, do you make the things on this premises? Yes, we do. Yeah, so, yeah, they just have no idea.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing how many people don't know what compounding is.
Yeah, I reckon the moment someone finds the magic solution to telling everyone, it'll probably explode and, patients will have a lot more understanding. But for whatever reason, it's still a small sector of the industry
Yeah, it's definitely growing though.
Yeah, we've seen that in the last few years, haven't
Yeah,
we?
definitely growing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think people like getting their own little things made up for them and things like that. Their vitamins and things, all specially for what they need after their blood tests, etc.
Yeah.
So I think that's good for people.
So what would you say are the most common types of products that people, turn up to the reception area and ask for?
Well, your vitamins. We're doing a lot of those at the moment. Ladies' hormones. There's some good doctors out there. So hormones. We do quite a few veterinary vet now.
Yeah.
There's bits and pieces
It's
of
growing.
vet. So, yeah. So I find that probably the hormones is pretty big.
Yeah. Always has been?
Yeah, and always will be, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
You generally find that, you've probably had experiences with patients that come in looking for hormone therapy that haven't had any form of success up until they try our product, and then lo and behold.
Yeah, that's right. And try maybe a different doctor. I think that makes a difference. I got a nice comment from a lady the other day after recommending someone. She was very, very happy.
Awesome. A doctor with a broader perspective.
Yes.
On more integrative stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very happy she was.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, talking about that story that you just shared with a patient about going to another doctor, what sort of moments can you recall of being in your role in a compounding pharmacy that sort of stand out? Whether it's helping someone or solving a problem.
Well, I think a lot of people come in and they're just looking for it. They are looking for a different doctor because they don't want to go to a basic doctor. They want something that's a little bit different. So I think that's what they come in here and ask. We do get a lot of that.
Yeah.
So we just recommend, and away they go, and then the people come back in and they're really happy. So that's because they didn't go through that last time. They wanted something different.
Yeah. What about regularly visiting patients? Do you find there's a lot of regulars, or are they not so regular?
We get everything. We get regulars and lots of new patients as well. Yeah. They come back regular all the time because they've got repeats, so they're happy to come and get them. And we do get new patients. Yeah. Quite a lot of new patients actually.
Yeah. I think like you touched on before, it's sort of an indication that things are becoming more known.
People want to go that way.
Yep. Something made for them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So talking about the team dynamics, what's in your workplace experience, what's been a challenging situation that you've had to work through, and how have you worked through it?
I've had a few challenges a few years ago with something that happened, and I worked through it and got through it and moved on. You've got to move on. So, but I'm a pretty easygoing person. I just cruise along and get my job done, and I don't like challenges.
Yeah. Keep it simple.
Yep, it's got to be simple. Too old for all that.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you've probably seen a vast number of experiences that younger team members or, might not have seen before. So you've got that breadth of experience to work through it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, some people, you just got to... I think probably because you come to a country on your own, and there was no mobile phones, nothing, so you've got to get out and you've got to do it, and it makes you a strong, resilient person. Yeah,
that's a really, really cool point. So you think some of that earlier travel built that resilience?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Independent, yeah, I think so.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think it's, I think anybody who can do a little bit of travel or do something makes you resilience. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And also gives you life experiences too, Matt. Life experiences are a big thing these days. I think if you have a few life experiences, it certainly makes you a more mature person, and you can see different aspects of different things in life as well.
Yeah. Would that be sort of some encouraging words for people that are sort of entering a new job or a new industry? Just take the time to have the life experience.
Yeah, I think so, because a lot of young people don't seem to have that. Some do, but there's a lot that don't.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. What do you think it is then? What's the biggest opportunity for compounding now as an industry, with all the experience and all the things that you've seen? What's the next step? Where does the industry go from here?
Well, I think it's going to keep going, and I think it's going to get bigger.
Yeah.
I think because it keeps growing. So if it keeps growing, then it's going to keep going. But I think it will keep going and keep growing. I think it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and more people want to go that way.
Yeah, so more of a, after the last 5 years of all the craziness we've been through, people want stuff for them versus this is what you've got to do.
That's right. A lot of people want a different perspective. They want to see go down a different way and try different products. This is just a basic GP that's got tunnel vision, that doesn't see out the square. I think a lot of people are wanting to go that way now, and I don't blame them because that's the way I would go.
Yep.
I think that's the best way.
And it's hard when they don't know what they don't know.
That's right.
They've got to find someone like us to then go, there is more opportunity available.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you might pay a little bit more to go to these doctors, but at the end of the day, you're getting the results, you're getting the good product. Why not?
Yeah, and I guess that's one of the challenges you've probably seen here too over time, is that a normal script price is not what a compounding script's worth.
No.
But
you just have to explain sometimes it's private, and you just got to explain to them this is why. And if you're in a private fund, you can try your fund. They're all different. Some will, some won't. So in the end, I think nobody ever walks away not paying and getting a prescription done. They always do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then once the prescription works and they get the health outcome thereafter,
they come back.
They come back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So someone that might be watching this or listening to this that has never done pharmacy or compounding pharmacy before, what would you say to them to encourage them to at least think about it?
Oh, for sure, I would. I'd for a start, a lot of them go to a GP and they're not happy with the GP. So if you explain, a lot of people don't always know the other side of what another doctor can do. If you explain that to them, like if you're just going to go and get your hormones checked, go to a doctor that does hormones, integrated doctor that does those sort of things, because you'll get a different outcome altogether. And they give you the blood test, they look at the right things and know what to do. So I've got my 2 daughters go to a particular doctor, and Sally went and she said, you've got a sister who's a teacher. And your mum works at a compounder, doesn't she? She said, yeah, that's right. Yes.
The Gold Coast is not such a large place after all.
It's a small place. We know that, Matt.
Very true.
It's amazing how many people know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
so really just telling someone if they're not sure, just give it a go, and compounding pharmacy might be
for sure
something that can help them.
Yeah, I think so.
That's very cool.
I think it will help them more actually, because they're aiming for more of the problems that they have or that they need to get fixed. So I think they're great. Yeah,
that's cool.
And it's natural. I think that's the bonus as well.
Yeah, stuff that's not always created in pharma,
and that's what people look for.
Yeah. And it has a good therapeutic outcome.
Yeah, it does.
Who would have thought?
And it works.
Who would have thought?
I've done it before. I know it works.
I know. Yeah. It's always really funny talking about it, knowing it quite intimately on the inside.
Yeah.
But then you talk to people that have never heard of it and they go, oh, that doesn't sound like anything I've heard of before. But what an interesting idea.
I know. You're always learning.
Yeah.
Every day you learn something. So
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. So what about someone that wants to have a job inside a compounding pharmacy that's never heard of one before, and then suddenly they come across, someone with huge experiences like yourself? What would you impart on them to encourage them to think about it, or why would they even want to work in a compounding pharmacy?
In a lab,
or in an office in a customer service role. Yeah.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, I did it. I went straight from pharmacy into compounding. Never done it before, so it's a great way to learn. And it's not hard. When you first go in, you think you could be overwhelmed. But I think if you do one thing at a time, go to the next thing, then I think then you get your confidence and you'll work on. But it's interesting. It's more interesting because you're learning all the time.
Yeah.
And there's so much to learn. Well, you know what it's like, Matt, don't you?
Yeah.
You've probably learned heaps.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I almost think we can't stop learning.
No.
And you would have seen in our last 13 years how many changes we make on a weekly or monthly basis.
And how big we've grown.
Yeah.
It's huge.
All for the better good of everyone.
For sure, yeah. And we've got the sterile lab, which is great.
Yeah.
And that's growing.
That is getting a bit of interest.
Yeah, it's good.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, and we're the only one on the Gold Coast, so, yeah.
It's a benefit.
We'll probably have to get a bigger lab soon, Matt.
Where do we go, Annie?
Yeah, I know.
It's quite convenient working here, isn't it?
It is. It's a good spot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good spot. It's convenient. It's close to everything. It's not far for people to come and park and come and get their stuff, so
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, that's very cool. So, and I guess that I've got the other thing here is we talked about you've always been very fit and active. What sort of parting tips do you recommend to listeners? Should they do Pilates or yoga?
Well, they're going to do Pilates.
You're still doing Pilates?
I'm still doing Pilates. Yeah, still doing Pilates. Yeah, you got to keep moving and keep doing things all the time. So
Yeah.
Keeps you younger.
That's awesome.
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you'd like the audience that's listening, other teammates, to take away from our chat this morning? Or
I don't think so. They probably know me well enough by now anyway, wouldn't they?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, so they always say I'm going to outlive them, but I don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, look, firstly, they've got to outwork you, and that's near impossible to do.
That's right.
So,
I seem to have more energy than a lot of them sometimes.
Yeah. And also your monthly targets you keep sharing. You've got to beat your shipping target.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm like that. I'm a bit of a competitor.
Yeah. That's good though.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
I think it is healthy. You've got to be a little bit like that now. If you want to go ahead, you've got to do things. Give it a go.
Yeah.
Because if you don't give it a go, you'll always wonder down the track why.
Yeah, that's a really, really cool point.
Yeah. I always used to say to my daughters, do it now, because 10 years down the track you'll say, I wish, and you'll regret it. So go for it.
So you're very happy with how it's all going, and
yeah,
we'll just keep plugging along.
Just keep plugging along and just keep moving and keep busy and get the orders out and get it all done.
Keep patients happy.
Yep,
yeah,
that's right. Customer service is number one, Matt.
We're doing our best. Absolutely. Even in trying times. It's been a very strange start to the year, hasn't it?
It has.
Weather-wise.
Oh, yeah, I'm over the rain. Yeah. But no, it's good. It's good. I really enjoy working here.
It's awesome, Annie.
So,
it's been lovely to chat to you.
Yeah. It's been great chatting to you too, Matt.
Can team members hit you up on email, Teams, in person if they want to learn more about you?
You know me with the emails. I'm not that good.
Yeah, you're good in person though. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Oh, it's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very grateful that you've taken the time today to catch up, and
that's good. I really enjoyed it actually.
It's awesome to learn all about your history, and
yeah,
it has. It's been really great, and it's not as nerve-wracking as you initially think.
No.
And I think that's why I don't want to do too much of a script. I just,
I think it's more relaxed.
It's exactly
just having a bit
right.
of a chit-chat.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Capsule Conversations.
Yeah, that's right. And everyone has a different story.
Absolutely. And we're better off for all those.
That's right.
Like
we can all
said.
learn from other stories.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great.
Mine's an old story.
No, you're still very modern.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I am. I'm very young at heart.
You are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the young people, to be honest.
I
have nothing in common with people my own age.
Well, credit to you. You're as active as anyone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, very inspirational.
Yeah,
Annie.
so it's good.
It's awesome.
So I'll be here for quite a while yet, I think that, Matt.
Yeah, likewise. We might not be on this same property, but we'll be in operation for some time.
Yeah. We might have two properties.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Right.
We've got enough to juggle, but
yeah, that's right.
We'll keep getting there.
Yeah, that's right. We just keep growing, so that's the main thing.
We're very lucky.
Yeah.
Awesome, Annie.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Matt.
It was great to chat.
Talking to you.
You too.
See ya.